Warning, warning, warning. This video contains spoilers. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Reviews by Russ. It's another Friday, which means another new episode of The Mandalorian is now streaming on Disney+. If you haven't seen this episode yet and you don't like spoilers, time to get out because we're going to talk about it. So let's just get right into it. Today's episode is Season 2, Episode 2, which is Chapter 10, The Passenger. It picks up at the end of the last episode. We see Mando and the child headed back to Mos Eisley on the speeder bike when they are attacked by a group of bandits. They don't give any real explanation as to why or how they knew they were going to be there. Kind of just, I don't know, it's just a random thing that happened, but they end up fighting. There's a funny scene where they get the jetpack in exchange for the child, and then he just makes the jetpack fly way up and drop the guy down on the ground, splat, so that was pretty funny. There's a lot of comedy with the child in this episode, but there's also some pretty cool stuff too. Like I said, they're heading back to Mos Eisley and they get hijacked. Of course, he comes out on top and then he has to carry everything back. So when Mando gets back to Mos Eisley, he finds his friend is at the cantina gambling. They're playing some sabacc. She wins a hand, but they have some information about more Mandalorians if he'll do this job. So he's got to take this frog lady to a planet nearby, and that's actually what the closed captioning even says, frog lady. And she is just kind of a frog lady. She's got this canister of eggs, which of course the child is very interested in those. So they go, and it's kind of tricky because he can't use hyperspace. He has to go just sublight engines. So, of course, he's going to be vulnerable to attack. And, of course, they end up running into some New Republic X-Wings, which is pretty cool. I love me some X-Wings. So it was pretty neat to see that. They end up going on a high-speed chase. There's a pretty cool sequence with the X-Wings and the Razor Crest. We'll take a little look at some of that. So Mando ends up crashing his ship. They fall through the ice. It seems all is lost. The frog lady wanders off into a little cavern. They go there. The child finds some eggs with spiders. He eats one. Then all of a sudden, there's millions of them. They're under attack. There's a pretty cool chase sequence through the ice tunnels with one of them up above and then some below. We'll show you they look a lot like the spiders from Rebels. So it's definitely a throwback to that. They're not the same, but they're very similar. I guess that's supposed to be a little Easter egg with Dave Filoni working on the show. But anyway, they're just creepy giant Arctic ice spiders, and they chase them back to the ship. They get ready to escape, and then this giant one comes down, of course, and that's when we get the pretty neat twist where the X-Wing pilots that had been chasing him actually found him. Those pilots end up shooting all the spiders. Then they do ask Mando about the prison break from last season, and they basically tell him they know he did it, but they also know that he tried to help the other guy that was there on the ship, and that he captured the other three and left them in the cell. So they kind of just let him go. They end up fixing the ship up just enough so it'll fly, but only the cockpit's pressurized, and then we just see him kind of teetering through space like we do in the preview that we've seen earlier. And that was the end of the episode. Pretty good episode, a lot shorter than the episode from last week, but you know, we knew they weren't all going to be 50 some minutes long. They do some bouncing. We hear of some new planets. I'll go over all that later on. I'll make a video that just explains all the Easter eggs, because we also see another one of Luke's aunt and uncle's droids is now working with this lady at Mos Eisley, just like the R5D4. So we've got two droids from the that have been to the Owen Lars homestead that are now in Mos Eisley there. So they just keep pulling all that stuff around. And it's like with the Anakin's engine for the pod racer last week, you know, like Tantunisi's way out there, so what's there's there, and I guess it just gets traded around. So but it's been fun. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button, because this is the way. I appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see you next time.